Chuck Pagano sent me a text this morning, and he said there was never any joint practice fights whenever we were coaching. We were with the 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler's here. We practiced with the Lions, I believe. And he said he also did a practice with maybe the Bears. I think we did a practice with the Bears. And he said you have a meeting with all the leaders, both teams, both coaches, everybody in one room. We're not fighting. You get in a fight, you get kicked out of practice. What happens if everybody on the roster gets in a fight? Have you seen the clips out of the Saints and the Cowboys?
I have.
I think everybody on the field got into a brawl. Now, I'm not going to bury it. I saw Louis Riddick, and I respect Louis Riddick. He's going to be a general manager one day, so I think the way he views things has to be that. This is inevitable. I think joint practices, a fight is inevitable. Now, Chuck Pagano told me this morning that I was at a couple joint practices and there wasn't a fight at them, so shout out to that team's leadership. I think this is an 85% outcome somewhere. Now, obviously, this is a full melee. I mean, and there was a German suplex by a Steiner. You know, I mean, there was a helmet toss. I mean, there was so many things that took place in this joint practice. So obviously, whenever you have that many people buying in, these are two teams with good cultures. Okay. Dallas Cowboys running sprints after practice on their own accord. Obviously, if one of them gets in a fight, they're all going to come. New Orleans Saints, everybody's talking about how happy they are, how together they are. One of them gets in a fight, they're all together. There's some good we can take away from these fights. This seems like a together bunch. Okay, this seems like a group that is very together. Now, obviously, throwing punches and haymakers at helmets and non-helmets and belly-to-back suplexes and German suplexes and things can lead to injuries. And it can also lead to the question, you got enough energy to fight each other? Are we not practicing hard enough? That's what every coach will say. But every coach will also say, as a Steiner gets grabbed, tossed around, you're going to do that to me? I don't think so. This is Scott Steiner's boy doing Rick Steiner's German suplex in 3, 2, and boom. How you doing? He needs to just head to NXT right now and join Braun, as the Steiner brothers could return in this whole thing. But nonetheless, joint practices have brought a lot of activity, a lot of energy, a lot of potentially very stupid plays, but also a lot of things that showcase how together a group could potentially be. Now, I think this will inevitably only continue as joint practices happen, but I love the fact that we got real football action. We got jobs on the line. We got real emotion. We got real energy. We got real deep balls. We got real quotes. We got real hard knock season this year, it feels like, as we're following along with the Seattle Seahawks.
For us, on the outside, we just see the clips. We see the highlights, whether it's one-on-ones or maybe some pass rush or something like that. But for the players, for the coaches, like it's so valuable to just see different formations, different personnel groupings, for the coaches sending in different things, because it can kind of get, monotonous when you're seeing the same team, you're seeing the same plays. You almost can know the installs and what's coming from the defensive or offensive side of the ball when it's your same guys day in and day out. So seeing those new things, not only just for that preseason game for, 15, 20 reps, but for periods in practice, special teams, all these different things. So I know why the coaches love it. I know why the players love it. The bad part about it is the fights. Yeah. The fights are going to come, whether it's in the trenches or usually I see them in special teams drills. Usually special teams, that usually kicks off the fights, and that's just a part of it. But it's also a learning ability there too. If you do get kicked out, if you throw a punch, maybe you get fined, maybe you get suspended, thrown out of practice, something like that. But you never want to see shit like this.
What if you do a German suplex like your Uncle Rick Steiner in WCW and WWF? Hi. Now that man has been suspended for 6 weeks due to performance enhancing, I do believe. So he's allowed to practice in joint practices. He's allowed to be a part of a skirmish where a helmet gets tossed and a German suplex takes place. And from my understanding, he didn't know that what he was taking, with classic similar stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they got after it a little bit. And you talk about special teams normally being the case. That's because that's where that's where everybody's fighting for positions. So you can't be making me look like some punk. Okay, because now there's 2 teams that are going to potentially be signing me for my livelihood here. So that's where you can kind of get and also the wide open shots. There's a lot of running. There's a lot of uncomfortable angles that take place. You do see a lot of skirmishes down there at the bottom of.
First one. That was the first one I experienced. Rookie year, we had a joint practice with Sean Payton and Bill were close, so the Saints. And not just about because Malcolm Jenkins was the first round pick that year. I was the second round pick that year. Boom, I think he was the gunner. We're double teaming. And, if you got a double on a gunner, like, we have to dominate this guy. And
Put him down.
This ain't Matt Slater. Like, we ain't taking care of him. We trying to put him in the Gatorade. So once he gets across that line and we keep going a little bit, everybody gets involved. So, those are high intensity reps.
The only one I've ever been a part of, and people are going to say, Pat, as a punter, how are you a part of? One happened near me. You're on camera.
There you go.
You have to be a part of it. So helmet goes on. It was D-line, O-line. I think it was Big Mookie. I think he had a helmet, from my understanding, like this, and the whole group was just kind of moving towards us. And Matt Overton, I think he's sitting right next to me, and goes, "Yep." We helmet on, and immediately back. I get in the back of the group, do a couple of these, a couple of yells, and then everybody walks away, helmet off, right back down to a knee. Obviously, the clip is shown later, and it's like, "Hey, way to get in there." It's like, "Yeah, hey, I'll show up."
The clip will be shown.
I will show. Yes, it will. And that's the thing. Like Louis Riddick, future general manager in the NFL, he was very upset about the fights because he understands like the value of the. You can lose somebody, okay, and if you lose somebody from that stupid shit, it's like so dumb. But Louis Riddick also knows that in those meetings, how come you didn't? Hey,
get exposed.
Excuse me. All your friends are fighting right here. How come you're just like 4 yards away? Just you need to walk me through what was going through your mind here. That person's potentially cut from team because of that. I mean, that is something that is actually being judged. So, like, hope the fights don't happen, but if fights do happen, gotta act right. Like, gotta act right. So it's kind of a juxtaposition that all these players are kind of in these joint practices, which leads us to believe that these will be happening forever.
Yep.
If you have two very mature teams, maybe they'll be able to handle it. But joint practices are going to lead to a fight more often than they're not. And the Saints-Cowboys one was the first one of the year that it's been like a full melee.
In that third clip we have of the fights, did you see Spencer Rattler in that one? He was uncertain if he should get in or not because I guess he's a quarterback. So do I do?
He did the right thing.
Send in chirps.
I think he get the hell out of there.
Shuck Joyce, I'm kind of just walking around.
I don't want to see Pat anywhere near Powell either because who knows who the next guy will be to come in there, got to play, or Vinny or any. So
I mean, those are big boys.
Ovi too. Specialists, stay the hell out of there.
No, you got to show face though.
You can be there, helmet
those
on,
are
maybe.
big boys in there flying around.
Or if their guy comes in there, you maybe clothesline.
Goalie fight.
Exactly.
Like hockey when goalie talks to Tibbs here at Bus Connor and that's Ty Schmidt live from Manatee in Ohio, and he's lucky the Colts and the Packers didn't have this guy, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. If I would have seen him on the other side getting into it, with that Stonehenge face that he has under there, I would have definitely left hand over top, grabbed that face mask, and then he would have broken my arm.
He had a Guardian cap on too.
So I would have been throwing that big overhand loop in, and he would have boom, idiot. I assume this guy was causing skirmishes.
Bit of a menace.
His whole football career, sticking his face right in things. Is the whistle blown? Yeah. Is it? Okay. All right, I'll get up now. Ladies and gentlemen, a badass of a man, a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, A.J. Hawk. Hawker, this left hand's going over two people and grabbing your face mask. You know what I mean? I'm doing one of these.
You know how mad that makes you? Like if someone grabs your face mask, it's like when girls fight and they grab each other's hair and they never let go. That's what it feels like if someone grabs your face mask. You gotta chop that on very quick.
Yeah, I think you would probably break my forearm in that exact moment. I think Rob Gronkowski actually did that to somebody in a game, from my recollection. I think Gronk. No, it happened to Gronk. Remember Gronk?
Oh, yeah.
Special team, somebody came in. I think he got his arm.
That's on field goal. I don't know if it was a fight, but he did have his arm bent because he was on the wing.
Boom, and then he got payback for that.
Yeah, for sure.
There's somebody that did that to him. It was on our team. And then
he answered the call.
Future years, there was a lot of remembering of, hey, yeah, I remember what you did to us. But that stuff, I think, AJ, we've talked about this as long as we've had a show. Joint practice, inevitable, there's going to be some fights. Now, Chuck Pagano reminded me that when I was on the team with the Bears, there was no fight. With the Lions, there was no fighting. He said he had the leaders come in, everybody talked, felt like maybe it was a little bit more mature team. But it feels inevitable. This is a big one, though. I will say Saints-Cowboys was massive, I think.
Yeah, this is like it's a Donnybrook, as coaches used to say. Like you want to try to protect from this, but this is kind of like, how many years ago did we see at the Cowboys camp out there to where they had a huge brawl like this that was right on like that, the short little fence that separates the field from where the fans are? Like it was right up on top of the fence. So something about this region kind of just brings it out in these teams.
Aaron Donald, right?
Yes, and Connor Williams, I believe, was the center, and he was a rookie or something. He was with Aaron Donald, and it went all the way over to the fence.